Biafra, superstars, media.
Fellow Biafrans, my name is Biafra Superstars Media. Today, I wish to present to you our good brother, our good friend, a comrade, known as the Biafran Golden Child, who is here to present a masterclass analysis of our good leader, one of the pioneers of Biafra, the great Francis Akanu Ibiam, a medical doctor who gave his all for Biafra. The story of this man is great. Without any much further ado, my people, I present to you the Biafran Golden Child. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're hearing my voice from. This is the Biafran Golden Child, and I'm happy, super happy, to communicate with you again today. Yes, this month of November, like I told you on the 2nd, is a very wonderful month because we are beginning from now henceforth to count our days to the promised land. We are counting our days, to the United States of Biafra. The 2nd December date given to us by none other than our indefatigable, our savvy, our intelligent, our highly cerebral, bold, and um, very astute Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. We have a date in history. We have a date with history, and every Biafra man is thinking about nothing else now except the attainment and the achievement the United States of Biafra come 2nd December 2024. That is the date with history. That is where we are all looking forward to. It doesn't concern us what is happening in this dungeon anymore. It doesn't concern us what is happening today in a government that has shown every signs of being a failed government, in a government where children were arrested, brought to court because of the and hashtag and bad government protest. I mean, they brought children who came uh, uh, into court just a few days ago, looking famished, falling down. Some of them, fainting. Some of them showing acute, poverty, showing acute starvation, and all manners of ill health and maltreatment. Yes, they were. Can you imagine locking up over 70 something people, children mostly, because you want to, rubber stamp your country. You want people to conform than to condone bad governance, hardship, and, clueless government. It's a very sad one. Yes, okay. I think after the uproar, after the general outcry, I think finally today, the government, the Vice President Shatima, has gone ahead and, insisted on the release of these children. And he has said he's handing them over to the different governors of their states where they were picked from. It took the cry, the combined effort of the general masses in Nigeria, their cry, the international community, the civil rights organizations, and well-meaning Nigerians and international bodies to cry, and bring the awareness of government to the plight of these children. It's a shame, really. Is this what we're still experiencing in the 21st century? No way. No way. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy, super glad that we are gradually and quickly moving into the date with history, the 2nd December 2024, when, by the grace of God, yes, with the human activities of our, highly indefatigable uh, uh, prime minister, we will be moving into the promised land. We will have our own country where there'll be zero tolerance for all this kind of rubbish, zero tolerance for clueless government, zero tolerance for judicial malpractices, tolerance for corrupt leadership, and ministers who have nothing to offer but to seize the economy. Yes, we're looking forward to 2nd December 2024 when the United States of Biafra will be fully inaugurated. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, for this audio today, I want to continue from where we stopped last time. There was an audio I made where I highlighted some of the people who say we have come to recognize as the heroes of Biafra land, the heroes of the Biafran struggle, those who did everything they could in their own little ways, in massive ways, with their knowledge, with their special gifts, with their professions, people who were bold, people who were articulate, people who made sure that Biafra was not grounded in just one day, people who made it difficult for the Nigerian army with all its battalions, with all its air bombardments, with all its aerial onslaughts, with all its seaports, with all the land marines and all that, soldiers and everything. They made sure that Biafra was able to hold Nigeria, to a stalemate for so many months, so many years, except when the activities of saboteurs, forced our able commander, the person of, Dumego Juku, then, to step aside, to move on to Cote d'Ivoire. Yes, and of course, eventually, Biafra capitulated. Yes, the person of Jerai Fyong and Sir Mbo, who eventually handed over Biafra's capitulation to General Yakubu Gowon, And of course, we know the famous words of General Yakubu Gowon: no victor, no vanquished, no victorious, no victimized. And they said everybody should come on board. Don't own one Nigeria. It didn't matter what had happened, put it as a thing of the past. That was what they told us there. But years later, we can still see that their question of being no victor, no vanquished was a mere rhetoric. It was a rhetoric because today we can see that they have continued to treat the Biafran man as a second fiddle, continue to treat the Biafran man as a defeated people. They have continued to treat the Biafran nation as a defeated nation. I mean, how can you be in a country where you cannot aspire for the highest land of the land? Highest post of the land. How can your goals and objectives not be achieved in a place you call your country? How can you always be at the tail end of anything development, anything creation of states, anything that has to do with infrastructural, supplies and creations? Of course, that means when they say there was no victor, no vanquished, they were saying other things except no victor, no vanquished. Because if there was actually no victor, no vanquished, the Igbos would not have been gifted with 20 pounds. The Igbos would not have been subjugated to all the hardships, difficulties, and pains they are going through to eke a living. That is a sad one. That's a commentary for another day. Yeah. So for now, we're talking about individuals who have made their mark, who stood out as generals, who stood out as heroes for the struggle. We have gone through the first man. One of the first people I called upon was I brought his notice to the group, to our house here. I brought him here. We're talking of none other than His Royal Majesty, Mark Odu. Mark Odu, who is, a king, monarch somewhere in Mbisa land, in the ancient kingdom of Mbisa land. He's still there. Mark Odu was the one who, he and his associates were so brave, they were bold, and they were the ones who brought the first plane, hijacked a Nigerian plane for Biafra. Yes, they did it. They did it. Hijacked a full plane and brought it down to Biafra. I think that was a very commendable gesture, a very major achievement. And that plane was one of Biafra's planes that served until the capitulation during that war. Mark Odo and your associates, you're great heroes. Your people will respect. Your people we should talk about. I'm happy you're still alive. Yes, you're hale and hearty as a monarch. And I'm praying God give you the strength, give you the good health, give you the wherewithal to move with us, move with Biafrans into the United States of Biafra come 2nd December 2024, when our able, when our indefatigable, when the man who says, whenever I say something, I do it. None other than our Prime Minister, yes, Frank Ekpa will take us to the promised land and declare it fully and ready to operate as a full functional, sovereign nation. Yes, Mark Odu, I salute you. I greet you, Your Royal Highness. May your days be long. May you reign forever. Dear King, dear monarch. Thank you so much. Today, I want us to consider another great Biafran. And this one is none other than a medical doctor who built his career, you know, built his career overseas, went to some of the best Ivy League universities in the world, United Kingdom, qualified as a doctor, and instead of remaining and enjoying the golden fleece, enjoying the largesse of a comfortable life in Britain, he came here, came back to Nigeria and said, look, I'm going to serve my people. And which he did. He did. And amongst one of the things he achieved, was establishing a great university, the one we call the University of Nigeria and Nsukka in you know, uh, Nigeria, in the eastern region. He achieved so much for us. And during the peak of the war, the Biafra war, he was so disgusted with what he considered the double standard of United Kingdom, what he considered the lackadaisical attitude of the United Kingdom, what he considered the great, grievous, great disappointments by the United Kingdom when Biafran sought for help from them. The man was mad. How could I have spent all my years studying in United Kingdom? How could I have stayed all my life in the United Kingdom, doing all I did for them, respecting the Queen, answering a knight, believing that the knight was a thing of honor. I mean, that knighthood was honorable. And yet, when I needed them, when we needed them in Biafra land, they turned the other eye, they turned the other ear. We were talking to them, told them everything we did, wrote everything we read, but they turned a blind eye to us. The Queen was still alive. Queen didn't do anything. Nobody did anything. The Prime Minister never did anything. And they left Biafra to ruin, Biafra to die under the bombardment, under the brutal killings, brutal maneuverings of General Gowon and his army and his supporters and his Nigerian government. Akanu Ibiam was mad. Francis Akanu Ibiam was mad. And they said, henceforth, Britain, the Queen, take. They went back to England, removed his knighthood, removed his jacket, removed every ensemble that had to do with the knighthood. And they said, here, Queen, take everything. Take your knighthood back. I don't need it anymore. When I needed it, I thought you would have come to the rescue of my people. When I wrote letters to you, I engraved it with my stamp as a knight. I engraved it with everything I had as a knight, but you didn't look at my request. You never helped us. You didn't send us any aids. Sorry, I don't need your knighthood anymore. And so Sir Francis Akanu Ibiam, henceforth, from then became Akanu Ibiam, and he came back to Nigeria and said, forget UK. He never went to UK again all his life, and he never answered the name Francis anymore. He said, let me be known. And excuse me, let me be known and referred to only as Akanu Ibiam henceforth. The Queen was mesmerized. They didn't expect this. The Queen was shocked, highly flabbergasted. She was like, how could this be? This is a knighthood that everybody wants. And here's a man, a medical doctor of repute, telling me that he doesn't need it, he doesn't want it, he doesn't want to be addressed anymore as a knight in shining armor. The Queen was shocked to her bones. Indeed, this was a great man. And indeed, the British people realized that yes, they have hurt this man, not just him, they have hurt the Biafrans, not just those people, they have aided and abetted, the genocidal inclinations of General Yakubu Gowon and his Nigerian government against the Biafrans. Ladies and gentlemen, our great hero today is none other than Francis Akanu Ibiam. Let's learn a bit about him. Let's, think about him. Let's remember him. Yes, they say they don't teach history anymore. They have stopped history in the country called Nigeria, in the dungeon called Nigeria. They don't want people to know their past, because when you know your past, you know how to walk into the future. When you know your past, you remember your people's culture, you remember their motivations, you remember what and what really mattered to them. A lot of people who don't know their past, they are the ones who have become sorry today. They are moving around without an identity. They are moving around without any, no, nothing like a signpost, nothing like a roadmap. Your identity, your history is like a roadmap. It's like a signpost. It's like a compass that should lead you, guiding you to move towards the right path. Today's schools in this dungeon called Nigeria, they say no more history. So a lot of people don't know they don't know about their fathers, they don't know about their mothers, they don't know about their aunties, they don't know about their cultures, they don't know about great heroes such as Mark Odu, a successful surveyor of great repute, highly, achieved very, early chartered surveyor whose, fame is still one of the highest, one of the greatest today, even though he's a monarch. And most of them don't know about Akanu Ibiam, the man who was once Sir Francis Akanu Ibiam, who reneged. He renounced his British knighthood because, of course, he felt they didn't treat Biafra well. They didn't help us when we needed them. They turned the other face. They turned blind eye. They became deaf to our cries, our children's cries. They let the chaos, the anarchy, the killings, the genocide continue unabated because they had a pathological love for General Yakubu Gowon and the northern region. Yes, that was what Kanibia felt, and he was mad about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm introducing to you none other than, Francis Akanu Ibiam. Yes, let's talk about him. Let's know a bit about him. Francis Akanu Ibiam, 1906 to 1995, was a Nigerian medical doctor, politician, and statesman. You know, he was born on April 29th, rather, 1906, in Wana Afikpo, Ebonyi State, Nigeria. Yes, he was born April 29, 1906, in Wana Afikpo, Ebonyi State, today's Nigeria. He attended Hope Waddell Training Institute in Calabar between 1921 and 1925. He studied medicine at the University of St. Andrews, Scotland, between 1925 and 1931. He qualified as a medical doctor, in 1931 from that Ivy League medical institution, St. Andrews University in Scotland. Yes, he was medical career. He worked after his graduation, he came back to Nigeria. Said, I must be here. I must use my practice to benefit our people. I don't want to start working in Britain. I don't want to start asking, be living with white man, because I know it's not good to stay in a white man's culture too long a time. So he worked as a medical officer in various Nigerian hospitals between 1931 and 1949. He served as a surgeon and medical superintendent at the Zuakoli, the famous Zuakoli Leprosy Hospital, Abia State. Yes, between 1949 to 1954. It is worthy of note that a lot of people, a lot of doctors didn't want to be posted to that Zuakoli Leprosy Hospital because of fear of contracting leprosy or being infected. But this gentleman said, no, the people there need care. The people there need my attention. He was a surgeon. I could be of benefit to him or to them. So he went there. He served as a surgeon, a medical superintendent at the Zuakoli Leprosy Hospital, Abia State, between 1945 and 1954. You know, Eventually, he joined the Nigerian politics in the 1950s. He was elected to the Eastern Region House of Assembly 1951. He was appointed Minister of Health, Eastern Region, 1954 to 1959. He was the Minister of Health. That's to tell you he wasn't a small fly. This man has seen it all. He has seen it all. But still, he sacrificed. He sacrificed it for Biafra. He came down to Biafra and he gave his life for his people. Yes, let's continue from there. Yeah, he was appointed Minister of Health of Eastern Region between 1954 and 1959. He was Governor of Eastern Region between 1960 and 1966. This was what we might describe as the years of Colossus, the years of the locust in Nigeria. Yes, because this was when between 1960 1966 were tumultuous period, beginning with the First Republic, down to the uh, January coup of 1960, down to the June coup, continual coup of 1966. So this gentleman saw it all. He was there. He was there. Yes, he was, you know, the governor of Eastern Region between 1960 and 1966. He played key roles in Nigeria's transition to independence. Yes, he was one of our nationalists. He was there with Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Dr. Bono Ojukwu, Herbert Macaulay, Fadoro Gusaya. He was there with Mike Naharo, who was there, well, with Chief Obafemi Awolowo and co. This was a man who was there with Mike Opara and co, Dr. Mike Opara. He was there. He saw it all and they put his metal. Yes, and when it was obvious the independence did not bring us what was expected, of course, he equally joined ranks with the Biafran people to make Biafra work. He worked with Ojukwu assiduously with our, late Dimo Ojukwu to make sure Biafra succeeded. They were the think tanks. Yes, Chief Akanu Ibiam were the think tanks. He and a great lot of them, Matthew Mbo and co, Chinua Achebe and the young men, they were ambassadors. But this man was well made, well read, well experienced, and he fought. He fought for the liberation of the Igbo people. Eventually, he rejected his British knighthood because he felt Britain didn't do enough, didn't come to our aid. Yes, so let's continue from there. Yes. The gentleman established the University of Nigeria and Nsukka in 1960. Those are some of his achievements and legacy. He founded the Institute of Medical Research Enugu in 1962. Yes, he developed infrastructure projects, including roads, bridges, and hospitals. Yes, he promoted education, healthcare, and economic development in Eastern region. This was a great man. This was somebody who has paid his dues, who sacrificed his life for Biafra. These awards and honors. Yes, he rejected the awards and honors, rejecting the British knighthood in 1962. As mentioned earlier, he was awarded the Nigerian National Honor of Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic in 1982. Yes, even the Nigerian government couldn't do anything against him. Yes, he went to Biafra. Yes, he fought for Biafra. Yes, he was an apostle of Biafra. He was a great ambassador of Biafra. He was a think tank for Biafra. He worked assiduously with Dumego Ojukwu. But even the Nigerian government realized that this man was a great man. He sacrificed a lot. If Nigerian government had listened, if he had signed the Abuli Accords, the Biafra war wouldn't have happened. There would have been no need to secede. Every union, every confederate region would have had its own independence. That was what they wanted. But Gowon didn't do that because, of course, he listened to his cronies, he listened to his friends, and he listened to those who had nothing but pathological hatred for the Igbos, who were jealous of the Igbos and what we had achieved in so little a time, in Nigeria. That was why the war broke out. That was why, people like, the late Dimotmo Ojukwu and others asked for secession, you know. So that was it. That is why we are still asking for the United States of Biafra come December 2nd, 2024. Yes, if the Aburi Accord had been signed, if the Aburi Accord had been maintained, if the Aburi Accord had been treated with sacrosanct that it deserved, I'm sure all these things today would have been history. Nigeria would have been a better country. Every region comfortable, doing well, churning out the glamour and North pyramids in the north, churning out the cocoa mountains in the southwest, churning out the coal from Enugu and of course, our crude oil from the southeast. Would have been better, but go on for reasons best known to him and his cronies. They refuse to sign that Apuri Accord, and they jettisoned it to the background, threw it as a rubbish into the rubbish heap, the same way the Prime Minister of Britain, Keir Starmer, threw the Yoruba agitation into the rubbish heap. That was what Yakubu Gowon and his likes did to the Aburi Accord. They took their own paper, read it, and they told Gowon, don't listen to that baggage. That's rubbish. General Juku has, he's used, Lieutenant Juku has gone and used all his grammar, all the grammar he learned from Oxford University to bamboozle you, to write all this thing. And as soon as you sign this, you'll be signing Nigeria down over to the Igbo people, to the Biafrans. And they will betide anybody that falls into the hands of the Biafrans. They will be subjugated. They will be treated as pariahs. They will all be beggars. Will all be their slaves. And so Gowon heard this and said, wow, is this it? So this is what Ojukwu wanted me to do. Of course, they threw everything that concerned the Burial Accord all the way from Ghana. They threw it into the rubbish heap. So that is it. And that was why the war became inevitable. Yes. Yeah, so it's a good one. Yeah, let's stay back on Akanu Ibiam. He was married to Eunice Ibiam, Nee Onya. He had several children, and they passed away, unfortunately, on July 16th, 1995. That is the great man. That is our hero. That is Akanu Ibiam. That's his life and career. Yeah, he was dedicated to Nigeria's development, education, healthcare, and politics. His legacy continues to inspire Nigerians and Africans, especially we Biafrans. We Biafrans, yes, we Biafrans, we a lot of us are alive today. A lot of our parents are alive today because of the effort, strenuous effort of this gentleman, a medical doctor who uses contacts overseas. When Britain deceived us, when the United Kingdom disappointed us, he used his contacts, and associates in other parts of the world, and they garnered medicine, he garnered foodstuffs, he brought things where much needed supplies. He got people to supply us things because he was touched. He was touched. He was touched by the plight of the Biafra. He was touched by the kwashoko that had ravaged the children of Biafra. He was touched by the sick of the sickness, the health of the elderly who had nobody to give them medicines. He fought tooth and nail and gave them medicine. Sometimes he smuggled these things through the back door, through Cameroon. Other times he brought it through. Maybe we shouldn't just let anybody know our secrets, but he was able to bring the much needed supplies, succor, medicines, food down to Biafra land. Francis Akanu Ibiam is our great hero. He's a hero of Biafra. We'll be bringing more heroes. We'll be talking about them, even though the histories don't want to talk about them, even though the schools in the junta called this Nigeria don't want you to learn these people or know about them. We shall be bringing them to you. I'll bring some shortly. Great men, great individuals who use their, whatever they had in life, who use their vocations in life, who use their experience in life, who use their wisdom, who use their strength, their braveness, and their boldness, and achieve the Lord for Biafra. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Akanu Ibiam is our hero. He's a man we should, treat as a great personality in Biafra land. May his soul rest in peace. May his family, wherever they are, let them continue to succeed. Let them continue to surpass the expectations of the mighty, of the wicked people called Nigeria, who thought it would have all been over the average Igbo man, to have been over for Biafran people. Little did they know that yes, someone, Simon Ekpa, our able prime minister, will come along the line, will eventually emerge, went under the tutelage of our maximum leader, Nnamdi Kanu, and together, they would create this, solid pact that would eventually grant us United States of Biafra come 2nd December 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, 2nd December 2024 is around the corner. Let's rally around our able Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, and let's achieve this date. Let us reach out to all the elites. We're talking about the big men, the big women in Biafra land. Don't scoff your nose at us. Don't look the other way. Remember people like Mark Odu and Associates, a charter surveyor who still played a major role in Biafra. He and his, associates Young men were those who hijacked the first Nigerian plane that became the Biafra plane. Let us also remember a medical doctor trained overseas, trained in the United Kingdom, who came down to this country and did all it could for Biafra land. The man didn't want to live in the lovely environments in England. He didn't want to consign himself living with white women, living in all the fine trains, beautiful, oceanic views, taking a ride in all the yachts. All that. But he said no. Came down to Nigeria and faced Biafra land. This is a man who rejected the knighthood of the British, because he wanted Biafra to be, wanted Biafra to belong, he wanted Biafra to achieve. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Francis Akanu Ibiam, a great Biafran. We'll bring more to you. We'll talk about them. We must let people know them because we are the thresholds of success. We are stepping into the United States of Biafra. We must remember our own. Nobody will celebrate your own except you. Nobody will sing praises of you except you. God bless every one of us. God lead us steadily into the United States of Biafra, the promised land, come 2nd December 2024. God bless you all as we wait, as we walk assiduously towards this attainment. God bless Simon Ekpa, His Excellency, our Prime Minister, and give him the courage, give him the wherewithal, give him the ennoblement, give him the strength, and give him the wisdom to take us to the United States of Biafra. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Why is nobody talking about how Dr. Akanu Ibiam renounced his English name Francis and also returned his knighthood KBE to the Queen of England? August 1960.
Yeah, Biafra. Yeah, Superstar Media. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. I wanna know. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. I wanna know. We going back to the land. We going back to the motherland. Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the land. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the land.